This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Abigail Ukmade, and this is Africa Now. Covid-19 is likely here to stay with us, and it will evolve like influenza pandemic viruses as the virus continues to mutate in unvaccinated countries across the world, and previous hopes of eradicating it diminish, the World Health Organization said on Tuesday. If the world had taken early steps to stop the spread of the virus, the situation today could have been very different, WHO officials said at a press briefing. Officials at the Global Health Agency have previously said vaccines do not guarantee the world would eradicate COVID-19 like it has with other viruses. And to politics, army officers have been installed at the top of Guinea's 8 regions and various administrative districts by the soldiers who seized power over the weekend. State RTG television broadcast images of junta-appointed General Abubakar Dakaite taking over from the civilian governor Sadou Keita in Kankan, the region that has been Conde's electoral stronghold. A group of political opponents of disposed President Alpha Conde on Tuesday were released as leaders of the regional bloc ECOWAS will meet to discuss the situation of Guinea on Wednesday, not Thursday as suggested in a previous staff memo. Still on politics, the Economic Community of West Africa States, ECOWAS, on Tuesday said it was worried Mali's transitional government has not made enough progress toward organizing elections for February as agreed after a military coup last year. In May of 2020, President Ibrahim Boubacar was overthrown by Colonel Assimi Goïta, who is now vice president of the interim government, accused the pair of violating the transitional charter. Despite Mali's government saying it is conscious of its commitment to the electoral deadline, some officials have suggested it might not be respected. Parliamentary elections are underway in Morocco, with Moroccans voting on the new rules that were expected to make it much harder for the moderate Islamist PJD to remain as the biggest party. In a bid to improve turnout in parliamentary elections that generally has low turnout, the vote this year will be held on the same day as municipal and regional elections, which usually have higher participation. The new voting rules will change the way seats are allocated, making it harder for large parties to gain more seats. Analysts expect the PJD to lose ground to its more pro-establishment rivals, the RNI and PAM parties. Somalia's two most powerful leaders were locked in a deepening standoff on Wednesday after they named different men to head the politically unstable Horn of Africa's nation's intelligence service. On Monday, Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Roble suspended the intelligence chief, prompting a public rebuke from President Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed. This triggered a dispute over investigations into an unsolved murder. Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Roble said he had told Fahad Yassin, the director of Somalia's National Intelligence Service Agency, to step aside for failing to deliver a report on the murder of one of the agency's agents who disappeared in June. Roble appointed another man, Bashir Mohammed Jama, as interim head of NISA, while the president, who called Roble's move unconstitutional, named Yassin Abdullahi Mohammed to head the agency. This is your digital-first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. You are watching Africa Now. Business stories coming your way after the break. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. In business, the International Monetary Fund said on Tuesday it is crucial for Chad to reach comparable terms with private creditors as it did with public creditors in June on its debt restructuring deal. The IMF African Department Director Abebe Amro Selassie, in a statement, said the international community will be monitoring developments closely and looks forward to concrete progress in the engagement between Chad and its private creditors in the coming days. South Africa's economy grew by an unexpected 1.2% in the second quarter compared to the previous 3 months, statistics agency data showed on Tuesday. The better-than-expected outcomes, driven by sectors like communications, agriculture, and mining, commerce restrictions to contain the pandemic, were eased. The economy is likely to contract in the third quarter after deadly riots, looting, and arson erupted in July, following the jailing of former President Jacob Zuma, as well as a severe third wave of COVID-19 infections. Kenyans are starting this month to pay more than double for some court services after the judiciary revised its fees, raising the cost of litigation. The fees reviews comes in the wake of a marginal cut on the judiciary's 2021-2022 budget of 17.9 billion shillings from 18.1 billion in the previous financial year. The new fee schedule published by Chief Justice Martha Koome, which took effect on September 1, shows that a number of costs may have been introduced, including charges for lodging of documents. Filing of any type of application at the High Court, except on criminal matters, now costs 1,500 shillings, up from 750 shillings. And moving away from business, after winning the August 12 general election, Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema, who promised Zambians that he would have a lean cabinet, has unveiled his cabinet of 17 ministers. As the new ministers took oath of office in the State House in Lusaka, President Hichilema warned them that engaging in corruption would not be tolerated. He warned against inflating of prices in the procurement process, which he said had hindered the country's development process. The Zambian president said he will appoint more ministers by Wednesday to complete the process ahead of the opening of the National Assembly on Friday. Mozambique's armed forces, with the help of Rwanda and the Southern African Development Community Forces, have reclaimed nearly all areas that were seized by militants in Cabo Delgado province, President Filipe Nyusi on Tuesday announced. The president said some locals are returning to their homes. Over 800,000 people have been displaced by the Cabo Delgado insurgency, with billions of gas projects by multinationals in the region threatened. Al-Shabaab, whom the U.S. had designated as Islamic State affiliate, is the group that has been terrorizing Mozambique since the first attack in October of 2017. And that is Africa Now. For more updates, to visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com. Follow us and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube to stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Abigail Ukmade. Thanks for listening.